What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your host, Andrew and Zach here. Zach, say what's up.
What's good?
And this is yet another episode of Chattin It Up. We're just going to be talking, riffing. This is our series where we're just kind of going off the cuff, very little editing. It's just us being us. So welcome back, everyone.
How are we doing? Dead ass. We've got a lot to talk about today.
Yeah.
We've been very vocal on the socials this past week.
Yeah. It's been quite a week, honestly. There's been a lot of stuff going on, a lot of shows wrapping up, like Daredevil finally wrapped up, Invincible wrapped up its season last week. We've been covering that on the socials, and The Boys is still going strong, and we're still keeping strong on our coverage of that. We were covering Maul Shadow Lord, but kind of fell off of that very quickly. But I've heard the finale was a strong finale.
Yeah, the finale is awesome.
Yeah, and it's probably like the worst kept secret, but Darth Vader shows up.
Yeah.
So, Aura. Just Aura incarnate. I heard he doesn't even say a line in the episode, which I think is tough as fuck. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure you commented on that on one of our posts. So we'll kind of scroll down here. Ladies and gentlemen, Zach has been dropping bars on the Twitter and the Facebook here recently, and his take on Anakin, I'll just let you take it away, dude. I thought it was great.
Yeah, there was a tweet the other day covering what Dave Filoni's take on Darth Vader appearing in Maul Shadow Lord was.
Yeah.
And he said, the key to Vader for me is that he's not Anakin. He doesn't recognize that. He can't. Anything that reminds him of Anakin, he's going to destroy. So when he sees a Jedi, he's going to destroy the Jedi, because the Jedi would remind him unconsciously, or consciously, I guess, that he betrayed all of his friends and everything he knew, and the life he grew up with. For what? Nothing. He lost everything. He made a bad trade. He was lied to. He was deceived. He just can't accept the truth, so he's further down the path than Maul. And with that, I just tagged on there. I was like, you know what? Anakin is trapped in there somewhere, and Vader won't let him surface. Might genuinely be one of the best explanations of the character I've ever heard. This is why Vader works best as a force of nature instead of constantly talking, like a constantly talking villain. Mm-hmm. The less humanity he shows, the more tragic Anakin becomes, and any iteration of Star Wars at this point. Yeah. And when they did that in Maul Shadow Lord, where he didn't even speak, you're just like, oh, that's crazy. What a character development there.
Yeah, it's so crazy too, because there's just, of all the cinematic villains that have come after Vader, I feel like the only one that's even stood a chance at even becoming somewhat as iconic as Vader is Thanos from Marvel.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that happened 30, 40 years after the fact?
Yeah.
So, I guess there's Heath Ledger's Joker, from The Dark Knight, but that's kind of its own different thing when it comes to iconic movie villains. That's an iconic comic book movie villain, I feel. But if we're talking about just straight villain, just for the concept of a villain for a movie, I feel like Thanos is kind of on, maybe not at, like I said, not on the same level as Vader, but in the same conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So that quote that he dropped the other day, I just thought that was a banger. There was another one too that I thought was really interesting. I'll see if I can find it here.
By the way, guys, we're just chilling.
Yeah,
we're just scrolling through our phones right now.
Yeah. Like I said, this is the most laid back thing, the most easygoing thing that we got here. Oh, dude. Well, this is one of mine that I answered the other day.
Which one is this?
If you could have the power of any one Infinity Stone.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
Which one would you choose? I chose the Time Stone.
God, we have what? The Reality Stone?
Reality,
Stone,
Time, Power, Space, Soul, and... What am I... did you already say Reality?
Yeah. I think that's it.
There's 6, so Reality, Space, Time, Power, Soul... What am I missing here?
Dude.
this is gonna eat us alive.
Yeah, this episode is gonna kill us.
Do you know how many times I've seen Infinity War? The Mind Stone. Oh my god.
Click.
It literally did. I was like, okay, I'm running through my head. I thought of Vision, and I was like, okay. Or the Mind Stone. So
yeah, the Time Stone is pretty cool though.
Out of those 6, you do Time Stone?
No, I'm reading yours here.
Oh yeah,
like, Time Stone would be pretty cool. I would almost put the Reality Stone.
Oh,
because I feel like that's on the same level playing field as the Time Stone. Because I can alter reality in like kind of like what you were saying in a certain space and time. Like I can change the way some like the color of something just by flicking a finger.
Yeah.
And I don't have to paint it, or I can let's say I'm not digging the car I'm driving, I can just change it to a whole nother vehicle.
Because like even in the example that I put in like the tweet here, you know, it's the scene from Doctor Strange where he's using the Time Stone to have time move through the apple, so you'll see it when it's a fully grown like delicious apple versus a rotten core. Yeah. And you could do the same thing with the Reality Stone. Like that chair over there, if you wanted to, you could just make that area of the living room something completely different from from the rest of the room.
You can almost do that on a universal scale, I feel like, too, depending on who's using it. Like,
you can make...
I am vibing with this outcome.
You can make Eldon an actual place. Yeah. Instead of a paradox.
Yeah. That's Ohio, though.
Yes.
What even is that state?
Oh my god, dude. It's an enigma.
The unnecessary beef we have in a whole state.
I swear, dude.
Oh my god.
But yeah, there's been a lot of activity on the timeline here, people. Like, y'all gotta tap in. I'm trying to see here. Oh, dude, The Batman Part 2.
Oh yeah, the little screen grabs that we got
from Matt Reeves. Literally, like as of recording this, less than 24 hours ago.
Yeah, we got him yesterday night. I want to say.
Yeah, just out of the blue.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Kind of came in clutch with that. It was just like, oh yeah, we'd be working on a little something.
Mm-hmm. And it's crazy too because he literally didn't say anything. He just let the pictures speak for themselves, and he said #snow tires. That's it.
And we all just went for it.
Yeah, like that's how thirsty we are for the Batman. We need the Batman Part 2.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't understand why it took so long, but then again, let him cook. The Batman movie we got was incredible, especially in IMAX. What an experience that was!
Yeah, I mean they've made so many different like strides when it comes to DC since the Batman. Since Batman Part 1 came out. And I've actually heard that there's been a lot of like kind of rumors surrounding Matt Reeves. Like he's low-key like either gone through something in his family or like he got sick there for a little while. So that's kind of why it's taken a little while for the Batman Part 2 to get up and running finally. But it's all rumors. Like nothing's like confirmed or anything. Yeah. But yeah, it's been a wild ride, like getting this second movie out. It's crazy. Like we're going on almost 5 years.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's been a fat minute.
I mean, it's gonna be well over 5 years since, or next year by the time we get Part 2.
Oh yeah,
isn't it coming out in October? Something like that. I believe
so, yeah.
That's gonna be trippy,
dude. To kind of riff off of that though, your take on The Boys,
dude,
when they came out. So just a little context, I'm gonna let him spill it here, but the tweet was just the what was it? The creator, the director, Eric, put out something saying that he doesn't make filler episodes, which I mean is valid if I made a TV show like that too.
Yeah.
But he, what did he say about that?
So he basically came out and said, here, I'll see if I can find the exact one. Like, I know exactly what you're talking about here.
Yeah, and we put our 2 cents in on that, kind of defending The Boys, because I think The Boys is pretty legit. I like the show.
Yeah, so...
But a lot of people, like, what are they, just beefing on it?
Yeah, so, like, I mean, a lot of what Eric Kripke, like, the creator of The Boys, has been saying, like, he's been getting a lot of flack for the past few episodes being, like, quote-unquote filler episodes, and he said in a tweet... None of the things that happen in the last few episodes will matter if you don't flesh out the characters. I'm getting a lot of online dissatisfaction, to put it politely, connect between what the creators of the show are putting out versus what the audience thinks the show should be.
Yeah.
Versus what we've already seen. And like, I don't understand. The show, The Boys, has been built on character since it started. Like, literally the very first scene of the show is us getting introduced into the world. Like, obviously through that one scene with the two dudes, like literally the teenagers, right? And then they see Homelander stop the dude, and Queen Maeve, she drops down, stops the bus with her body.
Episode.
Yeah. Like, that's the first thing we see, is just these two kids just geeking out about superheroes, like we are right now.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then it cuts to that iconic scene where A-Train runs through Huey's girlfriend at the time, Robin.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's like from the very start of the show, it's been built on these characters. And so, since this is the final season, we need the meat of the story before we get to the exciting stuff in the potatoes. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, with every healthy meal, you got your meat and potatoes. Like, we need the meat in the potatoes. You know, I'm getting this analogy mixed up here, but you know what I'm saying.
But, I mean, still, though, like, half the shit people were saying about, like, what exactly did you say there in that tweet?
Yeah, so basically what my rebuttal to that whole thing is here, let's see if I can find it. Where is it? We'll just edit this out. Fuck is it? Disconnect. Okay, yeah. So to bounce off that disconnect that I was talking about, I said that I really couldn't agree more. You know, like, it's kind of the same situation with Invincible. You know, like, the season 4 finale completely changes the status quo and the trajectory of the story and sets the stakes for the series going forward. But people are still whining because it didn't have world-destroying action for the 4th episode in a row. Like, we were literally just talking about this. Like, we basically had like a season finale level fight on episode 5, and like, I don't see that as a bad thing.
I don't either.
They're keeping us on our toes. That's making the show more interesting, and we get a subversive season finale compared to the 3 we've gotten already.
Yeah,
because all 3 have ended with some big climactic fight, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I'll always take a badass fight like that, especially if it's on the level of season 3 Conquest.
Yeah,
but like, the whole thing with Thrag and Mark at the end, like, that was perfect. Like, playing on the paranoia and the PTSD that he was experiencing, like, it was perfect. Like, I loved it. And like, I'm just like, Invincible is, I'm going into it completely blind for the most part, and I'm just really excited to see where it goes. And like, it's just a shame that other people, I mean, that's the beauty of media, you know, like, everyone has their own take and sees it on their own way. I just hate that, like, something that I find very special and something that I find very interesting, people just see it in a totally different way, and they're just dogging on it. And I'm like, I don't know how you see it that way, but I guess that's on you at that point. You know what I mean?
Well, and dude, to kind of riff off of that, a tweet that I put out the other day that was a pretty steamy, contested tweet.
Yeah.
It was a pretty bold statement, but I think it's pretty valid.
Okay.
Variety put out kind of a statistic post.
Yeah.
Generations.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just read the statistics here. That'll be easy for you. They tweeted out that 59% of Gen Z users actively subscribe and then unsubscribe to streaming services just to watch a single title or IP. Which, when I saw that, I was like, that's insane, but I do understand, because I've done that before.
Yeah.
And then they also tweeted out that 62% won't pay full price for video games anymore. 71% have stopped buying physical media and music, so like CDs, DVDs, all that stuff. 70% no longer buy hard copies of TV shows or movies. And then they also said, on the bright side, Gen Z is the most theatrical generation, with 13% more likely to attend opening weekends than older moviegoers today. Mm-hmm. Which is pretty valid, because me and Andrew, I mean, we pop out to every single movie come out.
Oh, yeah.
And with that, I was just like, I gotta say something. I tweeted out after they sent that, I was like, Gen Z doesn't hate entertainment.
Yeah.
We all just grew up in a subscription economy where ownership just barely exists.
Yeah.
And everybody was just ripping on me for that. But, I mean, if you go back and read that and actually think about it, I tweeted that out based on experiences I've had in the past, because I grew up in an era where Blockbuster was on the end, the incoming there of their run, they were coming to a close. Physical media was starting to shift out because we're Gen Z, really?
I think so. I think we fall under that.
Yeah, and everybody was just like, I don't see what you're talking about. We didn't grow up with that generation. What do you mean? I mean, I grew up between the era of the year 2000 and today. And between 2000 and now, I have watched physical media die. Physical media stores like Blockbuster and all of that, Redbox, everything like that, are gone because streaming has efficiently wiped them out. And I've constantly been telling people, go ahead and explain to me one service that is out there today, even grocery stores, one service that doesn't A, offer a subscription service, or B, ask you to have a subscription service.
Right.
Literally everything does now. Like Paramount, HBO, Netflix, Disney. Disney owns 90% of them now.
Grocery stores,
yeah. Even fucking social media apps like what we're on now.
Yeah.
Have to have a subscription service.
Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat.
That's what I was getting at there. And I mean, people were just dogging on it. Nobody was getting the point.
Yeah.
And I had to do a follow-up tweet telling everybody, I was like, you know what, fair point. Y'all are kind of right. And then I had to, kind of vouch for myself, saying the older Gen Z experienced both eras, but the larger point still stands. Gen Z grew up during the shift from owning media to subscribing for access, basically rent to own at this point. Streaming, cloud libraries, digital online games, any kind of software that you have to buy, like AI and stuff like that. And reoccurring memberships become the new norm during their formative years. Physical ownership became less central than it was for millennials or Gen X. And after I put that out there, everybody kind of shut up.
Because they finally got the point.
They're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing these days. Like, you have to spell it out in incremental detail and the most, like, you have to break it down to its finest parts. And so people can understand.
Minute detail.
Yes. Thank you, Homelander. and like, I mean, I even had to jump in there. I jumped in there on my personal account.
Oh, yeah, you did a couple times, yeah.
And I had to tap in. I was like, but this is facts. Like, I mean, why continue to buy into something that's supposedly giving you value, but in reality, it's only granting small bursts of value for things you don't even own? Like, streaming is the ultimate convenience. Like, it's like, especially with the world and tech is how it is these days.
Oh, yeah.
But it's also become the death of ownership, because at any point ever, like, if a company decides to pull the servers down or shut the servers down from a service, you have no control over that.
Nope.
And like, if a movie company decides, oh, well, we don't want our movies on the PlayStation Store anymore, they can just take it off, and like, the money that you spent, it just is in the ether.
And see, that's what scares me nowadays. I was telling somebody about this. I have gone back to slowly buying physical media nowadays, because I remember I told you a couple years back that I'm trying to upgrade everything into either Blu-ray or 4K. Solely because of that, because there for a while before I started collecting physical media, I had apps where you can either rent or buy movies. And you have to obviously pay an upcharge, because now the new norm is movies have a theatrical run and then a week later they're now on streaming thanks to COVID.
Right.
So movies nowadays are no longer $10-15. They're like $30 to $40 a movie. And what scares me is I will make that gamble and buy a movie, and then the streaming service that I bought it on, whether it be Amazon Prime, Fandango, HBO, YouTube, whatever, suddenly loses the license to that IP, and there goes $30-40 out the window, because now I can't watch the movie I just bought.
Right. And I mean, that's another thing too when it comes to streaming and rights and everything. Like, it's no secret, we have this Road to Secret Wars going on.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember part of the prep, and just before we even started recording it, was just to gather up all the movies, what are we going to watch, and like, what is everything on, and like, how much money are we going to pour into this? And I mean, a good amount of it is on Disney Plus, so I mean, that's like what, $10.99 now or something like that?
Something, yeah.
So that's $10.99 a month. Okay, but then you got some movies on there that you think are on there but aren't, And then, you have to go on there, like, maybe it's like YouTube TV, and like get it from like a recording, like for Blade, like what I had to do. For the first two at least. And then then there's like before No Way Home made it on Disney Plus, you had to subscribe to Stars just to watch that one movie because that's the only one it was on. And like these streaming rights for movies are just insane because you have Warner Brothers movies and shows going in and out of Netflix like on the monthly, it seems.
Oh yeah.
And like, I mean, your favorite show may or may not be gone by next week. You just don't know. And like these streaming rights just make everything so much more annoying.
It's very frustrating, but that was a very hotly contested comment that I made the other day, and I had to literally defend myself. But like I said, it's very cutthroat on Twitter, so everybody's got something to say. But once I did that secondary tweet, kind of just like telling everybody that they had fair points and explained my point once more, basically laid it out for everybody to see. Then everybody started to agree. Yeah. It was just like, oh, okay, I see the point you're making now.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of goes into the wider conversation, though, into like the theatrical experience at this point.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the overarching, I guess, main idea of this particular episode is just like the theatrical experience and how much longer do you think it's going to last at this point? Because I feel like, I mean, especially with that statistic that you brought up, you know, Gen Z, it's the most active theatrical experience. Like they're the ones who are tapping into that experience more than other generations are.
Oh yeah.
And like we've talked about with streaming already. Like, I mean, even with your setup, I mean, you got a banger light system, sound system. You got a great TV with amazing quality.
Yeah.
Like, if you really wanted to, you could just save your money and just watch everything here because you have a legit setup.
Yeah.
And, a lot of other people are on that same wave. And, I mean, COVID definitely helped stoke those flames because when everyone was inside, that's all people could do was just like, oh, well, let me make my living room my movie theater instead.
Yep.
And so the theatrical experience, I think, is something that needs to be kept alive as long as possible. Because I mean, a big thing that led to that statistic that you were talking about is the communal experience. Like, that's something that they commented on, was like, that's something that Gen Z is really like looking for when it comes to the theatrical experience. Like, yeah, they're watching a movie that they want to watch, and especially for people like us, we're superhero nerds, and so the superhero movie community is very much like, oh, I need to go watch this right here now before I get spoiled.
Yep.
Like, that's a big driving factor for that. But anything outside of that, like, you just don't really see that same hunger.
No.
And I mean, I just like, for me, I just think that there's that glimmer of hope that like a main driving force behind Gen Z going to the theaters more is the communal experience. Because I mean, it's just such a great feeling experiencing a really goated movie with a bunch of people you don't know and they're all feeling the same thing. Like when Project Hail Mary came out here recently.
God.
Like, I've only seen it twice, about to see it a third time here soon. Each time I've seen it, I've had a great crowd. Like, everyone's laughing at the great moments to laugh at. Everyone's locked in and like sitting on the edge of their seats when the movie like is on those like points and everything. And like, it's just great. Like, it's just something that I hope never goes away. But what's your take? Like, how much longer do you think the theater experience has? Like, do you think it has an expiration date, or what are your thoughts?
Well, I'm kind of on the same wave as you, because I've gotten to the point now with the age I am that I don't even care what movie it is. It could be a chick flick, it could be a horror, an action, a rom-com, a thriller, anything like that.
Yeah.
If it's something that's interested me and I go and see it in the theater, it's a whole ass experience.
Yeah.
Literally every single movie that I've seen in the movie theater, when I watch it on streaming nowadays, I have some movie theater experience memory from that. Like, the best one I have is fucking Endgame.
Oh yeah,
that's one of my favorite memories of going to the movies, and you cannot top that, where it's premiere night, Thursday night, full house, every seat had a butt in it, and everybody was feeling every emotion that movie was putting out. The shock and awe, just the craze factor, the hype that was going on. It's hard to replace something like that nowadays.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're getting to the point now where eventually it's going to be phased out, kind of how we are doing physical media now. Everything, like, I don't know. I feel like it's getting to the point now where they're slowly starting to realize, especially with this Paramount deal that happened not too long ago, and the fact that they're slowly going to be phasing out theatrical runs for some of their shit. It's gotten to the point now where other streaming services are bringing movies into theaters now. Like The Boys, their season finale is going to be popping out. What, in a week? Less than a week now. And then we actually went to go watch the season finale of Stranger Things in theaters. So I can see that sticking around for a while. I can see shows doing that. And I'm okay with that because if you get to watch all the hype at home, and then they give you the option to go have a theatrical experience with the season finale. I'm okay with that, and I could see that being around for a while. But movies and stuff, with how close-knit the theatrical run and then the streaming run is, like Project Hail Mary is literally dropping in a week on digital for everybody to watch. And it's just about ready to be taken out of theaters. With how close that window is starting to get, I feel like they're just going to cut out the middleman and no longer have theatrical runs. They're just going to... New movies are going to be out on digital and they're going to make their money that way.
And like, it's such a shame too, because you have like these pockets of Hollywood that like are kind of pushing for that classic theatrical experience, because you have titans out here like Christopher Nolan. He's getting ready to drop the Odyssey, and I mean, he's with Universal now because, Warner Brothers kind of gave him the middle finger during COVID. And so when the Odyssey drops, that's getting at least probably like 80 to 90 days in the theater.
It has to.
Like, I mean, it's a Christopher Nolan movie. Like, he is a diehard, like, theater experience. Like, he specifically says that his movies are made to be watched in a movie theater. And preferably IMAX 70 millimeter.
I was going to say.
So, I mean, like, and Universal knows that. Like, I feel like any studio knows what Christopher Nolan wants. And if you're a studio these days, you're going to get Christopher Nolan whatever the hell he wants.
Pretty much.
Because he's Christopher Nolan. And, like, his fans are all very diehard. And so if you piss him off, you're going to piss them off. And then they're all going to go with him wherever he goes.
Oh, yeah.
So they need to respect that. And, like, I just wish that, like, that same energy and same attitude was kept for everything.
That's what I'm hoping for, too.
Like, for your rom-coms, I can see how it would not be as, maybe big of a deal or not as serious, because, it's a date night kind of thing, or it's something that if you just want to go get in your feels for, go spend $10-15 to go watch it in theaters. But, a lot of people, I can see them saying like, I'll wait a couple weekends so that I can drop on streaming. I get that.
Yeah.
But, like, again, the theater experience, like, it just... I don't think it should ever go away. Like, no matter how convenient or how good home entertainment will get, because it's only going to get better as time goes on. I mean, it's already really good now, but yeah, I just hope and pray that theaters just are one of those things that evolve over time, and I feel like we're seeing that. Slowly but surely, like, I feel like COVID, again, was a big, like, wake-up call for theaters, especially nowadays, because, like, the streaming boom of the 2010s leading into COVID, that kind of woke up the theaters, because, I mean, they were riding high in 2019, I think that was like the highest grossing box office year either of all time or one of the highest grossing box office years of all time, because you had movies like The Lion King, Rise of Skywalker, Avengers Endgame all come out within like 6 or 7 months of each other. The movies were booming.
Oh, yeah.
And then, boom, COVID happens, and then just it gets cut off at the knees, it felt like.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Well, to kind of wrap this up, too, I feel like, what is it, right after COVID started, I'm pretty sure a lot of movie theaters closed their doors.
Yeah.
Either bankrupt. Because I remember seeing something about AMC almost filing for bankruptcy due to the amount of business they were getting in COVID and the fact that movies were going straight to streaming when they were dropping.
Yeah.
I thought that was insane to think about. But like I was saying, to wrap this up, my final verdict on all of that stuff, I feel like movie theaters are going to eventually get phased out. Like, the only other thing I can see comparing that to would be arcades and roller rinks.
Yeah.
Because you don't go out and you don't see arcades anymore because you can play video games at home now. And I feel like movies and movie theaters are kind of on the same come up as that. I feel like they're eventually just going to be phased out as a whole, and everything's just going to be back at home.
Yeah.
whether that be with physical media or not. I don't know yet, but I really hope that the movie theater experience does not come to an end.
I hope so too. And like, sorry, I'm listening to you. I'm looking for this comments because there's something I wanted to mention before we wrap this up here. It was actually on one of our YouTube shorts.
Oh, was it?
It was a comment that I had left someone. God, I wish I could find it here. I have no idea where it's at. But it was basically like, what's something that not a lot of people recognize is that the theatrical experience and the streaming experience are kind of in a symbiotic relationship. So, I don't think it's this one. We can cut this out.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's one on there.
It was that one that I responded to. I wish I could fucking find it.
I know which one you're talking about.
Is it this one? No. I'm on YouTube Studio right now, so
that's where I was at too.
I thought it was the Ryan Gosling super.
I think it was.
Let me go here. View all.
Oh, you know what I'll do?
Ryan Gosling came out here.
Is it on there?
Yes.
Boom, we found it. All right.
Okay.
2, 1.
Okay. Okay. So this comment that I found, I thought it was a great point. Like someone was telling me, it was kind of like one of our shorts that went over, how Ryan Gosling came out here and said it's not the audience's job to keep the movie theaters up and running. It's the studios putting out great quality content. And someone came back and was like, well, in the economy, like rent, utilities, gas, groceries, all basic goods, all that's more expensive. And I do recognize that. But again, like this, it's like a symbiotic relationship between the movie theaters and like streaming and VOD and things at home.
Oh, yeah.
And it all has like a trickle down effect. So like, this is kind of how I put it, because this is kind of how it was put to me. So studios need to make more money, right? So studios spend more money on movies, leading to studios take more of the cut from a movie theater ticket sale, leading to movie theaters need to make more money, leading to movie tickets and theater subscriptions cost more, and concessions prices rise, which leads to theater costs rising, less and less people with limited income, which is the majority of people these days.
Oh, yeah.
And their budgets for a night out at the movies become less, which leads to the less people that go to the movies, the more studios need to charge to make their movies, and then the cycle just continues.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it really is on the studios to get their shit together and to actually have it be at a reasonable cost and really decipher what movies do we need to pour money in versus what movies can we spend a little less on but get the same quality out of. You know what I mean? That's what it's really down to. Whoa!
It's okay, buddy.
I literally touched him with my toe.
It's gonna be that thing.
So, yeah, it's just one of those things again that it's and it's scientifically proven now. Like the math and the numbers are not lying. If your movie does good in movie theaters, it's going to do gangbusters on streaming.
Oh, yeah.
Because people see it as an actual movie versus something that, it's something I saw on Netflix. You know what I mean? It's just totally different energy there. And I just wish more people could recognize that. But I'll get off my soapbox because I could talk about this all day.
But yeah, to wrap up this episode, we just wanted to chat it up about just kind of anything basic. We had a couple hot takes that we thrown out on the socials. We thought it'd be a good idea to kind of just hang out for a minute, chat about what we were talking about when it comes to movie theaters and the fact that it's a dying breed. It might go extinct here relatively soon.
Yeah, I hope not. We hope not. But
that's what I'm hoping too.
The future is looking grim, but it's up to us to keep the experience alive, and it's up to the studios and the big wigs to have good quality content out there for us to watch and experience together.
So with that being said, go out to your local movie theater and watch a movie.
Please. Project Hail Mary's still out there, in case y'all were wondering.
Oh, yeah.
But with all that being said, thank you all so much for watching. This has been your boys, Andrew and Zach, with the Nitpick Central podcast, just chatting it up, and we'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.
Peace.